Okay.
Hey Sarah, how are you doing today?
I'm well, my dear. How are you?
Good. Now that we're on take three, and Siri wants to know how to pronounce your name. So
We have a Siri accompaniment, y'all. And this is video and stuff happens.
and here we are. Yes. So I know we've been discussing and planning out our exciting retreat that we have coming up in July, July 9th through 13th, down in Costa Rica, and I wanted to catch your people up and be able to share this with my folks as well, like what we are up to creating. And specifically today, we're going to talk about what you're up to.
Yes.
So first, you want to just take a moment and kind of bring everybody up to speed in what it is that what you're co-creating with Synergida and Ben and me and
Everybody.
yeah.
Yeah. Thanks, sweetie. Well, what we're co-creating, it's called the Synergida Life Retreat. It's not a very specific name at all, and y'all who know me know I like to be a lot more specific, because here's what it's about, because it's actually about, and what we're co-creating, but what it's about is authentic connection and relationship building in our modern world, in our busy, disconnected, social media intensive, hypey sales training intensive world. How do we connect authentically? How do we actually build relationships in our business? And that's something y'all know I'm all about, and I talk about in practically everything I do in marketing and sales in some way, is how are we connecting? How are we connecting? And how do we connect in a way that has people just take a deep breath and feel good versus feel pounced on? And I mean, I knew the minute when I was, so Synergida, it's in Costa Rica, it's a retreat, like luxury, beautiful retreat on somewhat of a spiritual vortex, or in to a certain extent, and it has retreats like all year. So we as speakers got to just scroll down this page, y'all, and find ones that resonated. And so I'm scrolling and then I hit this one, and it was, I mean, half of the words in the description are words I use all the time, and in my marketing and in my curriculum, like everywhere. So it was a pretty easy selection, and I'm just so excited to be, co-creating with you and Ben, and you're bringing your piece about life purpose and our hand analysis. I'm super excited for that, and I've never done that, so I'm excited about that, and how then we can lead that into, how do we connect authentically? How do we really connect heart to heart, and do so intentionally? I mean, that's my other thing, because I think there's a lot of people being like, ooh, connect, and or share or inspire, or the other euphemisms I hear out there for sales.
Yeah.
And one of my things is, I mean, sales is kind of like Voldemort, where people will avoid saying the word sales or all this stuff, except when they're saying like, I sold to her in a weird way, right? But they'll avoid the word sales. And I like to go at it with Voldemort. And if you remember, Dumbledore said to Harry Potter, no, do not call him he who shall not be named. Use his name. If you're calling him that, you're giving him more power. It's the same thing with sales. So it's about being intentional. Yes, we're connecting. And yes, we are intentional about it. We are deliberate. Like, we are here to do business. We are, going to be open for business is one of the things I like to say. Yeah. So I just think it's going to be magical down there. The 5 of us, or however many actual bodies, but somewhere between, 4 to 6,
Right. Yeah. And so what makes it, obviously people got to pack up and make plans and do all those things that usually those are where the excuses are, right? Like, oh, I have to make plans. So what makes this something that's like unstoppable? Like, it's like, you've got to get there to do this, because this is what you're going to experience out of at least your share of what you're creating for them.
Yeah. Well, and I think collectively too. So I would say because you're to get to Costa Rica, to land in this, spiritual vortex, luxury retreat center, to be around other people who are up to similar things, up to big things in their own unique way, looking for authentic connection. There's a few things that you get by, I call it like extracting yourself, like you're really pulling yourself out of life, all the busy and the to-do. We're going to be doing work and doing sales calls, if I have anything to say about it, while we're down there. And but that's part of the curriculum, and we don't want you doing a bunch of busy work, to a certain extent. From what I've heard, that there is internet, yes, and there can be a heavy load on the internet during peak business hours, which will make business maybe not the most fun thing to do. And prioritizing your sales calls, like your work time, sales calls, right? So if we are going to pull you out and ask you to basically work on your business, not in your business. And that is a good distinction. And I know a lot of people talk about it, but being able to get your head out of the day-to-day, and this is a 5-day retreat, and, in another country, in a land and a vista and a horizon that I can pretty much guarantee does not look like the one you've got, no matter what you've got. And the clarity we get when we pull out like that, but also then are in activities that spurn thinking and growth and receive training in our business. It's really where the quantum leaps can happen. Well, they can happen anyway, but they seem to happen more frequently in this type of environment. So I would say that's number one, in terms of you actually want to do the work and pull out of your life and get your plane ticket and get your butt to the center with all of us. Cause I swear we're all going to be on the same, shuttle.
Shuttle, yeah. The mountains we go.
Right. Because we'll all be heading out that day. And so we travel on a Sunday, y'all, and it's Monday through Friday. And then we travel on a Saturday again. And the other reason is, if you're even remotely inclined towards authentic connection, if that tickles your fancy or piques your interest at all, then what we're going to be doing there is unlike anything that's out there. I can, Meg, yes, you talk tomorrow about all of that, because we're going to do these interviews with me interviewing Mega here and tomorrow. But at least for my part, nobody stopped training this. This is based in survival instincts for the feminine, for us women, which causes us to seek connection and avoid disconnection at all costs. And everything you're doing in marketing, sales, everything you're doing in networking, everything you're doing, to connect with people and build relationships is going to be harder. If we're doing it in a funny energy, certainly bringing up sales, turning a friendly conversation into a sales conversation. It's one of the things I teach, but that moment, asking for money, having the sales conversation in a really powerful way, being that intentional yet spacious, balance when you're getting to know people and when you're developing relationships and building them. Nobody's teaching that, y'all. And I am, because I do have this training about the feminine survival instinct, and she's everywhere in everything we do, connecting in our business, whether online, offline, in between, half and half, posts get us excited, videos get us excited, all this stuff. And when I say it gets us excited, I mean a part of ourselves, we can call her cave woman. It is our survival instinct, who really, really doesn't want to do that thing, or doesn't want to go there, doesn't want to say that, doesn't want to ask for money. So the 7 essential money-making conversations I'm going to give y'all are it basically is going to be how to have all those conversations in a way that will feel good to your cave woman, feel good to your feminine survival instinct. They're built heavy connection, because that's what she's seeking, heavy connection, but with just enough intentional, with just enough strategy that you can get the business done. You can find clients everywhere. That's what I like to say with this is like, you know, because you're going to be meeting people everywhere. That's how the universe works. It's throwing people at you everywhere in the grocery store line, at Starbucks, whatever. And we have to be able to like navigate these in a connected way and in a way that, you know, finds the business if it's there.
Right. So, and I want to just add on something to what you were saying. I think that oftentimes people, if they've never experienced something like this, so, you know, yeah, you can go do sales calls at your desk and whatever, but when you're in your center and you're really fully aligned with who you are, your energy carries differently across the phone line. And also that here in this experience, they're going to be super present to their purpose, which is, you know, you actually adjusted the name. I think it's now called the Synergy Life Purpose Retreat, because we're really looking like how you live that. Yeah. So how does purpose, in terms of just, you know, kind of, I know we've talked for a few minutes, and but how does selling from purpose, like, does that line up along with the stuff that you're teaching there? Or
well, yeah, I mean, the way I see it is, I mean, or selling, like, well, so my assumption is that anybody who's going to come either has a business that is their purpose or is in a career that is in their purpose. Okay. So, so that's where purpose really relates to sales and marketing in my mind. There are some ways that bringing out our purpose in our marketing, and at some point it's less about ways and it's more about when. One of the things I'll be talking about is like layers of marketing, and you know, we don't do it at the beginning because unfortunately, y'all, people don't care about our life purpose until they know we can do something for them. So feel free a little later on in the sales page or a little later on in the conversation talking about it. But at the beginning, they don't really care. I'm sorry. And if we can get them where they care, then they're totally psyched to hear about your why and your life purpose and all the abstract stuff, you know, that you want to talk about. Then they're like, right on. And more to the point, they'll ask a question if you lose them, if you get ahead of them or their understanding. And that's key, because we lose them too early, they're gone, y'all.
Yep.
So no, I agree with you absolutely in terms of, well, I mean, yeah, that's how the life purpose. And I think, you know, the more we're grounded in that, the more we're present to that, you know, it comes out in that energetic you were talking about. And also, you made a really good point that we'll be making the sales calls, or more to the point, because I think it's going to be a lot of outreach calls for you guys where you're just reaching out and setting up conversations and stuff like that. You're doing it in this luxury environment, and the vibration is raised, and you will reach more people, you will schedule more people, you will get people who will want to have the conversation right then, and you'll magically have the time. You know, you're not walking to the waterfall for another 2 hours, so you can spaciously, you know, have a sales conversation with this person, or at least connection conversation, which I'll show you how to turn that into a friendly or turn that into a sale if you need it. Like, it's all there for you, and we'll be building on it too. So I think it's true. Like, you know, it's a great place to be doing some work and especially doing some outreach, because all that high vibe, like, people go to retreats and they get all like insular and insulated, and they hunker down with their whiteboards, their pens, like they go to town. And not to disparage that work, at times, guys, that kind of insulated, insular work is really, really wonderful and needed. And to a certain extent, if you're at this luxury retreat, you're kind of wasting the vibe, because the vibe is going to be, you know, the most potent when you are reaching out to people, when you are actually connecting. Like, that's when fire, magic, you know, fireworks, magic, all that good stuff happens.
Yeah. So is there anything else you want to add in before we start to wrap up our little chat we're having? Anything?
Well, I think the thing is, y'all, if y'all have your life purposes, whether or not you have a clue or a good sense or no clue, Mega's going to help you figuring all that out and getting super clarity. And it's always good to come back to. And then I'm going to really dig deep with you on how to have these 7 essential money making conversations. You're going to understand your cave woman and where she's going, no, and like how to work with her and how to create safety. Um, and that framework, back to the purpose, it'll help you make more money. It'll help you actually either get the sales you need in your business, increase your sales, get to that next level, scale, whatnot. And in your career, all of this is going to help you meet your quotas, meet your meet your benchmarks and deadlines, and have the career path that you want and really do the promotions that you want. I'm working with a new executive client now, and she has this whole map, and she wants me to help her figure that out, and keep her on track. And when you get back, it's just going to be so much easier to make money. And with that, you can fulfill your purpose. You can give to charities. You can start philanthropies, all the stuff that we want to do that should and needs to be, secondary to making money, and enough of it and plenty of it and savings and all of that good stuff.
Right.
So that's what I would say. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. And they can look up in the post that they're reading or watching on that, you'll have the information. There's a little bonus for them, right?
Oh yeah. And I'll share a little. So y'all, it's, what is it? The 9th through the 13th.
9th through 13th of July. Yeah. We're going to get in on
July.
Sunday.
And it's 5 days. And so what's included is you get 5 nights, right? Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
5 nights at the luxury resort. All your meals are included, and it's farm to table, beautiful, artisan, healthy, whatever need, vegan, all that, keto. Like, I'm I can totally handle it. I have no doubt at all. And for that entire trip, those 5 days, everything included, they basically say bring some cash, for walking around money, but that's all you're going to need. It's $2,000 with my promo code, which is Sarah Michael, SARAHMICHAEL. The link will be in the post, so you can click that, register with my promo code. You'll get $500 off. And the other thing, y'all know me, if you want to chat, if you want to know more, if you want to whatever, just let me know. You know how to reach me. Message, comment, message, email, whatever it is. If you have my phone, you can text me. And we'll talk about it. But really, it's going to be great. And I hope as many of y'all can come join us as. Oh, and they get a bonus because, yes. So if you sign up, I'm going to give you guys a 2-hour free included intensive on really whatever you need it to be. Often that we start with the messaging, so you have your awesome 30-second intro that you can talk about before your purpose. and then you're set. If you do really badass, really vivid 30-second intro and then talk about your purpose, they'll come with you no matter how far you're going. And so that's a bonus, a 2-hour intensive with me.
Fabulous.
Yeah.
All right, awesome. Well, I am looking forward to the co-creation that we have. I know that although just the right people, every time I've ever gone to a retreat and done these expansions myself, always the right people show up in the room. Synergistic partnerships and relationships that get created out of them are fantastic. And you just, I would say that my biggest breakthroughs in my life have come from doing this type of stepping away from the average normal day, run-of-the-mill day, and doing this. So I'm looking forward to sharing and creating there with you very shortly. Oh my gosh,
I know, me too. I can't wait. Yeah. It's gonna be fantastic, guys. Come join us. Yeah.
I'll talk to you soon.
Yes.